Hi there, Zam here for NerdTube, and this is my review of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. Now, I was kind of surprised to see a second He-Man show, totally different to the one we got just a couple of months ago. But this He-Man show is definitely more appealing for kids. It's a total reimagination, a reboot, so to speak, of what we know as He-Man. Yes, we do get familiar characters from the past, from the previous He-Man shows, but they are given a total overall, and we're going to be looking at all of them in a different light. For instance, Skeletor is not just, He-Man's nemesis and his arch enemy. He happens to be He-Man's fucking uncle. He's the brother of He-Man's father, who's the king. He-Man himself has friends and allies who are usually looked upon as mentors of his own, like for instance Duncan, aka Man at Arms. But in this particular case, Duncan is just more of a young guy who's into technology, bit of an inventor, and that's how he comes across. Totally different, not like a sort of Kingsguard type guy like he was in the previous shows of He-Man. So come on, get off me, go over there, go over there. Jesus Christ. Anyways, we also have Teala. Now Teala wasn't really some sort of magician girl in the previous shows of He-Man, but this time around she is. She's obviously, she was always the sorcerer's daughter, but they really are playing on that with this one, with her being very magical in what she does, always using her magical powers to do stuff and so on. Orko is a fucking robot magician. He's a android, so to speak. I think the spirit of Orko is within this robot, which possesses the robot, and Orko is able to reanimate himself in this robot. It's very unusual. The only way I could describe this show is like it's a cross between, say, Power Rangers, Clone Wars, even like sometimes when they do things like the Ultimates in video games like Street Fighter and stuff like that. You see that in this as well, like they're combining their powers together and they're doing ultimates and shit. And it reminds me of Street Fighter 2 and fucking Mortal Kombat and all of that bollocks. The show's premise is very simple, really. Skeletor wants to rule the entire planet, and it's not Eternia, it's Eternos. It's a bit different as well. I was expecting this show to be extremely shit. I mean, a level of shit that I can't comprehend. I saw the trailers for this, and when I saw fucking He-Man looking like Shaggy from Adam looking like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo, I thought to myself, oh my god, this is going to be seriously bollocks. But it's not that bad. Don't get me wrong, it's not fantastic, far from it. It's not great, far from it. But it is palatable, and that's the best way to describe this show, palatable. I think because I'm always looking for little Easter eggs here and there. When we finally came across Beastmaster, for instance, or Beastman, where the fuck he was back then, you wanted to see how comparable he is in this show to the other show. We had a guy called Kronos who ended up being Trapjaw. It took a while for him to be the Trapjaw that we recognized from the previous shows, but in a way we almost got like an origin story for so many of these characters. Cringer, for fuck's sake, Cringer. He's not this cowardly lion, tiger sort of character that we saw back in the day. He's actually a wise, old creature. He reminds me a bit like if Alfred from Batman was turned into a tiger, that would be fucking Cringer. And even then, when he becomes Battle Cat, he becomes Battle Cat willingly, and he's still kind of like Cringer in Battle Cat form, but he just happens to be a bit bigger. And he has like metal blades for claws and stuff like that. It's quite interesting to see this spin on things as well. Just taking He-Man in a different direction. So they're keeping things familiar, but they are definitely rebooting it. Like the previous He-Man show on Netflix, this one also left on a cliffhanger and left with Skeletor being triumphant. He's going after He-Man, he's going after Grayskull and all of this sort of shit, as Skeletor's always done in every He-Man version of a television show. And in this case, he thinks he's won, but Grayskull has kind of disappeared. The castle of Grayskull, that is, along with the sorceress and all these other fuckers. And we end there with Skeletor being triumphant, sitting on the throne, and that's how season 1 ends. So it'll be interesting to see where we go with season 2. But in a way, this was kind of like all the origins getting into place, and just going back to the to the characters themselves. Because I do apologize. I would like to be a little bit more on the ball right now, but I've got a fucking little bird flying all over my fucking rascal here. Okay, there we go. Get the fuck out. Oh, come on. Anyway, but regarding the initial characters, they combine. When I say Power Rangers, it's like they combine their powers together. Like, it's not just He-Man who has the power of Grayskull. Everyone has the power of Grayskull, and so they all upgrade as well. So yeah. Anyways, I would love to continue doing this, but I have a bird that just wants my attention and won't leave me the fuck alone. So I'm going to see what I can do about that. But in the meantime, let me know what you think about He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, this kiddier version of Master of the Universe. Do you think it's absolutely shit? Do you think it's palatable like I think it is? Or do you think it's the greatest thing you've ever seen in your entire life? Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to NerdTube. We are the greatest YouTube channel you never fucking heard of. And I'll see you cunts later. Bye-bye.